So Ellen, like my brain is on fire. There's so many things popping in my head. There was a word you used when you said we need to continue conversations. One of the things that I believe the prior board did very well was socializing change and having a member dialogue and member engagement. And so I wonder if we could do more of that, right? To really talk about these kinds of things and where we want to see. Now, the strategic plan is right on target, I believe. Okay, that's a little bit self-centered, I guess, in some ways, because I was involved in some of that. But I think we did a good job. We had so many very smart people who worked very hard, and the outside consultants. So I think we're set with our strategic plan. But I think having more just conversations with membership, and we know how to do that now because we're all getting really good at this virtual world. The other thing I want to say is, with all the change, the thing that doesn't change, which I want to say it could have been our prior president some time ago, Anna Marie's cousin Price, then we had Marcia, we had Melanie. I think I'm missing some in there, but the work that was done for the vision statement. The vision is still an ombuds office in every organization. And I think that's really important that we stay anchored to that vision. We talked about, I think you and I have said before, that doesn't define what kind of ombuds, right? We do our training. PDC is focused on the work of the organizational ombuds. Our standards of practice are around the organizational ombuds, but there are many different kinds of ombuds in the world. And the value that many different kinds of ombuds bring. We're all in this together. I think I said it already. I'll say it again. We want them all. We want to all be united with this vision. So I just want to point that out, that with all the change, that vision doesn't change. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And trying to find the most effective way to create community, not just amongst our members, but with all of the affinity and all of the ad hoc and formal other groups that support ombuds in their work, whether it's organizational ombuds, classical ombuds, or you're practicing in the United States, you're practicing in Canada, you're practicing in Argentina, you're practicing in New Zealand. What you bring to the table is important, and we can learn from each other. And to me, that is the beauty of what associations do, right? They facilitate and convene not just members, but conversation about what is it, what are we doing, and how do we advance it?
Well, and the value that you bring is that you've got all this association experience that, we as volunteers who actually practice as ombuds, we don't have what you have. So we're so thrilled that you're here and that you can help us with that and that dialogue. Ellen, I know we've kind of moved this into a conversation, and hopefully we're giving the membership some insight about who we are. Is there anything else that you think would be valuable that we cover so that everyone can kind of get to know us?
Yeah, well, let's talk about what new we think is going to be on the horizon, and what members can experience a little bit that may be different from in the past.
Well, the one idea of more member dialogue, I think, now remember, when we do that involves more volunteer time. And we do want to be respectful of that. Volunteers are so vitally important, and they're important for every organization that has volunteers. But right here at IOA, we are a volunteer-driven organization or association is a better word, and so there is some balance. Now, I also think volunteering should be fun, and and I've been on committees where we have fun, and so if anyone is in a committee and they're not having fun, then let me come. Let me see if I can help, because it is vital, I think, that the volunteers feel as though they're getting back what they're putting in, right? That if you look at Bruce McAllister and Dave Carver and Steve Prevost and Chuck Howard, even though he was our executive director, he certainly has given an enormous amount of volunteer hours. They specifically, and they involved hundreds of people, but they can specifically look at the standards of practice and code of ethics and know what a job well done, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we all have those opportunities to contribute to this association and be able to look back and say, yeah, I was a part of something really, really good. So that's one thing I guess I see is new, is the new volunteers, which I've mentioned. What else, Ellen? What am I missing?
Oh my gosh, I have so many on my list. I've just developed this external advocacy and public relations plan for IOA that will really direct quite a bit of my time over the next 2 years. That's really focused on not just little advocacy, but also positioning IOA to be more in the public commenting space. When opportunities arise, and in an advocate space, if a system is going through an issue, that we are writing letters on behalf of the profession, that we're providing guidance and holding ourselves out as a resource. So the advocacy piece I see really shifting in the next little while. Our DEIB committee is just finalizing the framework that will guide the organization moving forward, of how it is that we address and meaningfully consider all DEIB issues. So that'll be new, and you'll see a lot of that language and a lot of those issues addressed. And with that, DEIB, it's not just the committee's responsibility. When we shift DEIB and create the DEIB framework, it's the responsibility of the entire association to address and incorporate. So there's a lot of work for us to do in that space, and a lot of exciting work. I said more international. So, I think to grow the international community and just have more comment and contact with the international community, and also well-being. We haven't spent a lot of time at IOA talking about that. You're a healing profession, and you hold people's stories every day. And what does that mean for you? And how do we as an association help support our on-buddies through the stress of the work that you do? So I think some health and wellness pieces will emerge next year.
Wow,
so much new.
Yeah, so much new. And just saying those words calmed me down a little. So
right?
yeah, just hearing well-being. I love that.
Right.
I guess the only last thing I can think of is I am so thrilled with the core values incorporated in our new code of ethics, and especially the one that says promote dignity, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And, sometimes I think as ombuds, I think that we were probably weaving those concepts in, but to have it clearly defined as our core values is so important to the work that we do.
Absolutely.
We live in a very difficult time, and I want to, not to deny that, but to know that the work that we do can really make an impact in not just individuals' lives, but in the fabric of the organization in which we serve. Yeah, it's just so vitally important. Yeah.
And for our own organization, right? The equity and the belonging piece is where we need to focus.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And with our partners across our organization and with our affinity groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ellen, anything else that we want to share with our membership and our Good Day IOA?
I think you got a good taste, and I hope you'll reach out if you have any questions or concerns. I'm always available, and look forward to meeting all of you and working with you and continuing the great work of IOA. And so looking forward to working with you, Ronnie. I'm so excited you stepped up as president.
Yeah, well, I stepped up as president because you are full-time executive director. So those of you who have ever considered board service, this is different now. It's going to be really exciting to have Ellen, her association management experience, and her full-time effort. It is a good day, IOA.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.